Let's begin the chapter unit number 5, the 100 races, part 1. There are two parts in the chapter. Today we'll begin the part 1. It's written by L. Bosser Easter. Now, before we begin, just a quick introduction. The name of the chapter is 100 races. Now, the entire story is somewhat from the 20th century when a large number of people from Poland immigrated to the US. It is said that more than 1 million people migrated to the US. So, when they reached US, they were discriminated by the people of US. The US citizens did not like their presence, so they were discriminated, and this very thing is brought down in the chapter. In this chapter, the girl, the character main, Wanda, was also from Poland. She was a Polish girl. She was teased, made fun of, laughed by her schoolmates in this school. They even thought that the name Wanda Petrosky was a funny name. And there were other reasons for the students to make fun of her and to laugh. They made jokes on her poverty, and the girl always said that she had 100 dresses. This was also one of the things that made them laugh, because they could not imagine that a girl, that Wanda would actually be having 100 dresses. So we'll begin with the chapter. It begins with, today, Monday, Wanda Petrosky was not in her seat, but nobody, not even Peggy and Madeline, the girls who started all the fun, noticed her absence. And today she was not present, but nobody ever noticed, because nobody ever bothered also that she is present or not. Usually Wanda sat in the seat next to the last seat in the last row in the room 13. All the students were used to be sitting in the room number 13, and Wanda especially sat on the last row. She sat in the corner of the room where the rough boys who did not make good marks sat. She used to sit with all the rough boys, those who did not study. The corner of the room where there was most scruffing. Scruffing means dragging of the movement, making noise of feet, most roars of laughter when anything funny was said. They used to laugh a lot, those children, those who used to sit on the last bench, and most mud and dirt on their floor. And they had lots of mud and dirt on their floor also. Wanda used to sit there. Wanda did not sit there because she was rough and noisy. The girl was not like that, obviously. On the contrary, she was very quiet and rarely said anything at all. She was a very quiet girl and never said anything in the class. She used to sit quietly, and nobody had ever heard her laugh out loud. Nobody had ever seen her laughing or heard laughing. Sometimes she twisted her mouth into a crooked sort of smile, but that was all. Now, only she used to smile sometimes a bit, nothing else. Nobody knew exactly why Wanda sat in that seat. None of the friends also knew why Wanda used to sit there. Unless it was because she came all the way from Boggins Height. Now, Boggins Height is a place. So, she came from the Boggins Height, and her feet were usually caked with dry mud, and her feet were, means the shoes that she was wearing were full of dry mud. But no one really thought much about Wanda Petrosky once she sat in the corner of the room. Nobody paid any attention to her. The time when they thought about Venda was outside the school hours. Nobody ever bothered about her, but everybody was interested when this before the school began and after the school ended, after the school hour mostly. At noontime when they were coming back to school, or in the morning early before the school began, when groups of 2 or 3 or even more would be talking and laughing on their way to the schoolyard. So when they used to be coming, at that time Venda was important. Why? That will go through in the lesson. Then sometimes they waited for Venda to have fun with her. So why did they wait for her? Not for any good reason, but to make fun of her. They used to wait for her, that when she will come, we'll make fun of her. The next time, Tuesday, Venda was not in the school either. So the next day, now we go to the Tuesday, still she is not in the school present. And nobody noticed her absence again. No, nobody ever bothered that she is not present today. But on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie, who sat down front with other children who got good marks and who didn't track in the whole lot of mud, did notice that Venda wasn't there. So on the third day, Peggy and Maddie, those two girls who used to make a lot of fun of the girl of Venda, noticed that why isn't she coming for 3 days, she is not there. Peggy was the most popular girl in the school. Now Peggy was a girl who was very, very popular in the school. She was pretty, she had many pretty clothes and her hair was curly. So she was good looking and very popular girl throughout the school. Maddie was her closest friend and her close friend was Maddie. These two were very close friends. The reason Peggy and Maddie noticed Venda's absence was because Venda had made them late to school. Now, today these two girls were late because of Venda, but she was not present. Then how? Because they were waiting for the girl. So they became late to the school. They had waited and waited for Venda to have some fun with her and she just hadn't come. They waited, but the girl didn't appear, didn't come to school. So these two girls were also late. They often waited for Venda Petrovsky to have fun with her, and they waited for her to have fun so that they could have fun, make fun of the girl. Venda Petrovsky, most of the children in room 13 didn't have name like that. They had names easy to say like Thomas, Smith or Alan. So this name was actually a Polish name. So none of the other children had such kind of name. They were simple names in the class. There were only boys name Bounce, Willie, Bounce, and people thought that was funny, but not funny in the same way that Petrovsky was. There were funny names also, but Venda Petrovsky was the funniest name that they had heard. So that name was very much funny for them. Venda didn't have any friends. Venda did not have any close or any other friends in the class or in the school. She came to school alone and went home alone. So she came to school every day alone. She went also alone. She always wore a faded blue dress that didn't hang right. Didn't hang right means it was not properly fitted and it didn't fit her properly. So she used to wear a pale faded blue dress and that also was not properly fit for her. It was clean, but it looked as though it had never been ironed properly. Now the clothes were clean, but it seemed as if they were never ironed. She didn't have any friends, but a lot of girls talked to her. See, she did not have friends, but the other girls, lots of girls talked to her. Why? To make fun of her. Sometimes they surrounded her in the schoolyard as she stood watching the little girls play hopscotch. That is a kind of a game that children play on the war hard ground. Venda, Peggy would say in the most courteous, means very much appealing manner, as though she was talking to Miss Mason. Vanda should say, giving one of her friend a nudge. A nudge is means a gentle push. Means now that I am going to make fun of her, it's a kind of a mark. She used to go and tell us, how many dresses did you say you had hanging up in your closet? So they used to all get prepared to make fun of her, and one of them would ask her a question and say, how many dresses do you have? You had once said that how many dresses do you have in your closet? 100, Venda would say. So the Venda would reply, I have 100 dresses. 100, exclaimed all the little girls incredulously, means showing unwillingness to believe. Means 100 dresses, nobody would believe that a girl who used to wear a very pale and unironed clothes, and that kind of a girl would be having 100 dresses at home. So that was something which they did not believe. And the little ones would stop playing hodgepodge and listen, and the girls, even those who used to just listen, would stop playing and listen. That 100 dresses the girl has, 100 all lined up, said Venda. And Venda used to say that I have 100 dresses and they are all lined up in my closet. Said Venda. Then her thin lips drew together in silence. But that much only she used to speak, and then she used to be silent again. What are they like? All silk, I bet, said Peggy. Then they used to make fun of her. Because silk is a expensive cloth. So they used to make fun of her by saying, and I think all the clothes, all the 100 dresses are made up of silk, I think. Yeah, all silk, all colors. She used to reply, yes, all the dresses are made up of silk and they are all different colors. Velvet too. Now, even I have dresses made up out of velvet. That is also a kind of a cloth. Yeah, velvet too. 100 dresses. Venda would repeat stolidly. Means now not showing any feeling. Means just she used to say, yes, yes, I have 100 dresses all lined up in my closet. Then she used to repeat the same line. Then they'd let her go. And then, before she had gone very far, they couldn't help bursting into shrieks and peals of laughter. Then they used to just leave her, and when she used to go, she used to laugh behind her back, loudly, shrieking, making noise, because nobody believed that the girl had 100 dresses and she is lying. So they used to laugh. 100 dresses, obviously. The only dress Venda had was the blue one she wore every day. And the thing was, if she had 100 dresses, she should wear few dresses to school. But the girl never wore any kind of different clothes. She used to wear that same pale dress every day. If she had 100, then she should wear them, but she never wore. And she came to school only with that single dress every day. 100 dresses, obviously the one Vanda was, that's the blue one she wore every day. So why did she say she had 100? What a story. So they used to think that she is just making up stories. If she had 100 dresses, she should be wearing those dresses. How many shoes did you say you had? So somebody used to make fun of her by asking her, and how many shoes do you have? If you have 100 dresses, most probably you might be having other shoes also, many shoes also. 60 pairs, all lined up in my closet. And she used to say, I have 60 pairs of shoes and they are also all lined up in my closet. Cries of exaggerated politeness greeted this, all alike. And again, oh no, every pair indifferent. So they used to say, your 60 pairs, all the pairs are of the same color, same design. Then she used to say, no, every pair is different. So she used to say that each and every pair is different from the other. All color, all lined up. And those shoes are also all different colored, and they are also all lined up in my closet. Peggy, who had thought up this game, and Maddie, her inseparable friend, means her best friend, were always the last to leave. And these two girls, they had started this game to make fun of her by every day asking her the same question and then having a good laugh at her. So they were the last to leave. Everybody used to make fun of her and leave, but these two girls used to stay behind and ask her many more questions and make fun of her. Finally, Wenda would move up the street, her eyes dull and her mouth closed. And she used to understand. So when she used to leave, she used to shut her mouth quietly with dull eyes, hitching her left shoulder every now and then in the funny way she had, finishing the walk to school alone. And the poor girl used to, when everybody used to leave her after making a lot of fun, she used to quietly go home. Peggy was not really cruel. Now, from these two girls, Peggy was not really very cruel. She protected small children from bullies. Bullies means those who are making fun or those who are harassing the small children are the bullies. So many times Peggy was a good girl. She used to help children from the bullies. She said, cried, and she cried for hours if she saw an animal mistreated. And if some animal was mistreated, she used to start crying also. So she was good at heart. If anybody had said to her, "Don't you think that is a cruel way to treat Wenda?" And for example, if somebody would tell her that, "Don't you think that you are treating Wenda and that is really bad by making so much fun of her? Don't you think it is wrong also?" She would have been surprised. Cruel? Why did the girl say she had 100 dresses? Now she used to say that I am cruel, then why does the girl say she has 100 dresses? She never wears them. We have never seen her in any another dress. Then why does she say so? 100 dresses. Anybody could tell that that was a lie. And she used to say that anybody can understand that she is lying. Means she is not telling the truth. Where are the 100 dresses? Why did she want to lie? Why does she lie? What is the reason for lying and saying that she has 100 dresses? And she wasn't just an ordinary person. Else, why did she have a name like that? And then she used to say that she is not an ordinary person. See, her name is also funny. Anyway, they never made her cry. But they used to make fun of her, but they never made her cry. And for Maddie, this business of asking Wenda every day how many dresses and how many hats and how many this and that. So, but for the other girl, Maddie, she really enjoyed making fun of her. Every day asking the same question, how many shoes, how many this, how many that. And she was bothering her. And now even Peggy didn't like that Maddie used to every day tease the girl. Maddie was poor herself. She usually wore somebody's hand-me-down clothes. Now, Maddie was also poor. She was not very rich like Peggy. She used to wear hand-me-down, means old clothes handed down by someone, and we wear those clothes if somebody gives us, if we are not in a good condition and somebody gives us their old clothes, and we have to wear those clothes because we are not in a good condition, then we have to wear those clothes. So Maddie used to wear these types of clothes also. Thank goodness she didn't live up on Boggin's height or have a funny name. But then too she said that thank God that she didn't live in Boggin's height, because that was also not a very good place to live, and she didn't even have that funny name. So she thank God for that. Sometimes when Peggy was asking Wenda those questions in that mocking polite voice, Maddie felt embarrassed and studied the marbles in the palm of her hand, rolling them round and saying nothing herself. So many times when Peggy was making fun of her, Maddie didn't like it. She didn't enjoy it every time. So she used to just remain there passive, means not showing much interest many times. Nobody had felt sorry for Wenda exactly, but nobody felt anything for Wenda, especially that the poor girl is being harassed. Nobody thought anything of that sort. She would never have paid any attention to Wanda if Peggy hadn't invented the dress game. And Wanda, if she was alone, she never wanted to make fun of the girl. Only the Peggy had invented this game, and she was just accompanying her in the dress game, means making fun of her by asking her about the dresses that she had. But suppose Peggy and all the others started in on her next, she wasn't as poor as Wanda. But again, if they left the girl Wanda alone and started making fun of her, then still she was not as poor as Wanda. Perhaps but she was poor. But then too she was poor. Of course, she would have more sense than to say she had 100 dresses. But that is said in the lesson that she was poor, but she never said that she had 100 dresses. Now, if you say you have 100 dresses, means you are pretty rich and well to do. But she never said that, because she thought that saying that was something foolish, because everybody would make fun of her. Still, she would not like for them to begin on her, but yet she was afraid that sometimes they would make even fun of me. So she never said anything. She wished Peggy would stop teasing Wanda Petrosky, and she even wished many times that her best friend Peggy would stop teasing Wanda. Today, even though they had been late to school, Maddie was glad she had not had to make fun of Wanda. Today they were late, and today they did not make fun of Wanda. She was glad that okay, today it's good. She worked her arithmetic problem absent-mindedly, 8 times 8. Let's see. She wished she had the nerve to write Peggy a note. Now she is in the class, but she is thinking about something else, and she thought of writing Peggy a note. Why? Because she knew she would never have the courage to speak right out to Peggy to say. Because she was afraid of Peggy. Peggy was a very rich and a very famous girl, and she was a friend. So she thought that I cannot directly say anything to her. So she decided to write a note, and she didn't have that much courage also to just go directly and talk to her. Hey Pegs, let's stop asking Wanda how many dresses she has. When she finished her arithmetic, she did start a note to Peggy, and she decided that I will tell her, my best friend, that now we should stop making fun of the poor girl. And she had decided now, but suddenly she paused and shuddered, means hesitated. She pictured herself in the schoolyard, a new target for Peggy and the girls. What did she think then later on? That if I tell my best friend, that is Peggy, not to make fun of that Wanda Petrosky, then who will be the next target? Maybe it will be me. They will start making fun of me. When they will stop making fun of Wanda, they will target me and they will make fun of me. Peggy might ask her where she got the dress that she had on. So she used to wear Maddie used to wear borrowed clothes, because she was also not very rich. So if Peggy would ask in front of all the friends that where did you get this dress, who gave you the dress, and humiliate her, then that would be a problem, and Maddie would have to say it was one of Peggy's old ones. Many times she used to even wear Peggy's old dress that Maddie's mother had tried to disguise with new trimming, so no one in the room 13 would recognize. And the mother might have trimmed the clothes fitted according to her, but really the clothes were of Peggy. If only Peggy would decide of her own accord to stop having fun with Wanda. So she decided that if Peggy would stop herself making fun of Wanda, then only it would be alright.